the 5 types of narcissists, and which one is destroying you. Not all narcissists look the same. Some rage and demand, others cry and guilt trip. Some are your boss, some are your parent, some are in your bed. There are 5 types, and if you don't know which one you're dealing with, you can't protect yourself. This is your identification guide. By the end, you'll know exactly who's been destroying you. Type 1, the grandiose narcissist. This is the stereotype everyone pictures. Loud, arrogant, demands center stage constantly. I'm the best, I'm superior, everyone else is beneath me. They need constant admiration and they're not subtle about it. They dominate conversations, interrupt you mid-sentence, dismiss your achievements while bragging about theirs. Everything revolves around them, always. What makes them dangerous? Their ego is so fragile that any criticism, any competition, triggers narcissistic rage. You're not a partner, you're an audience. The moment you stop clapping, you become the enemy. Type 2, the covert narcissist. The most dangerous because they hide in plain sight. They don't brag, they martyr. Nobody appreciates me. I sacrifice everything. I'm always the one who gets hurt. They weaponize vulnerability. Every conversation becomes about their suffering. You feel guilty for having boundaries. You feel selfish for having needs, because their pain always takes priority, and it never ends. What makes them dangerous? They get narcissistic supply through pity instead of praise. You become their emotional support animal, forever. And when you try to leave, after everything I've done for you, I can't believe you'd abandon me. Guilt becomes your prison. Type 3, the malignant narcissist. This is narcissism, plus sadism, plus paranoia. They don't just want admiration, they want control through fear. They enjoy watching you suffer. Your pain is their entertainment. They're calculated and predatory. They isolate you systematically. They humiliate you publicly. They threaten, manipulate, and destroy. Not in rage, but with cold precision. What makes them dangerous? They have antisocial traits. No empathy, no remorse, no conscience. You're not a person to them. You're a target, a possession, a toy to break. This is the type most likely to become physically violent. If you're with this type, you're not in a relationship. You're in a hostage situation. Type 4, the communal narcissist, the helper, the volunteer, the saint. They build their identity around being selfless and morally superior. I do so much for others. I'm such a good person, not like those selfish people like you. They perform generosity for an audience. They help, but only when it gets them praise. They volunteer, but make sure everyone knows about it. Behind closed doors, they're cold, controlling, entitled. What makes them dangerous? Everyone thinks they're wonderful. You try to expose them. Nobody believes you. They're so kind. You must be the problem. Their public image becomes their weapon. You're isolated, discredited, and trapped because the world sees their mask, not their cruelty. Type 5, the somatic narcissist. Their narcissism centers on their body, appearance, sexuality. They obsess over looks, fitness, sexual conquest. You're not valued for who you are. You're valued for how you make them look. They're often serial cheaters, not because they're in love with others, but because sexual conquest feeds their ego. They objectify everyone, including you. Your arm candy, a trophy, a reflection of their attractiveness. What makes them dangerous? When you age, gain weight, or stop worshiping their appearance, you become worthless to them. They'll trade you in for a newer model without hesitation. You were never a person. You were a mirror that stopped reflecting what they needed. Here's what most people miss. These types aren't mutually exclusive. You can have a covert narcissist who's also malignant, a grandiose narcissist who's also somatic, a communal narcissist who's also covert. They blend, they shift, they adapt based on what works. The type you're dealing with might change depending on who's watching, what they need, how threatened they feel. That's why they're so hard to pin down. You think you understand them, then they shift tactics and you're confused again. It's not multiple personalities. It's strategic manipulation using different masks. No matter the type, all narcissists share core traits. Lack of empathy. They can't feel your pain, only their needs. Exploitation. You exist to serve their agenda. Entitlement. They believe they deserve special treatment always. Grandiosity. Even covert ones, deep down, see themselves as superior. Rage when challenged. Threaten their ego. Face their wrath. If you're constantly walking on eggshells, if your needs always come last, if you're blamed for their behavior, if you feel crazy, exhausted, and trapped, the type doesn't matter. What matters is you're being abused, and you deserve to be free. Now you know the 5 types. Now you can identify who's been destroying you. Grandiose, covert, malignant, communal, somatic. Knowledge is your first weapon. Identification is your first boundary. You can't fight an enemy you can't name. Now you can name them. Next step, learn their tactics. Next step, build your escape plan. Next step, reclaim your sovereignty. Subscribe to Shadow Vault. This is where psychology meets power, and your freedom begins now.